All right, we are back on the record. Welcome back, everybody. Thank you for being on time. Hope you had a nice lunch. The record will reflect the presence of all counsel. The defendant is present, and you called to have her brought in the back, correct, Manny?
Yes, sir.
All right, so she's on her way. Good afternoon. Welcome back. We have a fresh pitcher of water there for you and some cups if you want some more water.
Thank
I'd
you.
like to remind you that you're still under oath, okay?
Okay.
And would you mind pulling that microphone down, the tall one there? Just pull, there you go. All right. Mr. Carlos, you can resume your cross-examination.
Hey, Ms. Doe, before we broke for the lunch this morning, you told this jury a lie. Do you remember that?
Objection argumentative.
Sustained. You do not have to answer that question. You can rephrase.
You told this jury that you don't drink, right? Is that true?
Yes, I did tell him.
And that, in fact, is not true. It's a lie. Yes or no?
I didn't drink today.
Question is, you told this jury you haven't drank for 30 years, right? That's what you said. And that is a lie, isn't it?
I haven't drank today.
You haven't drank today. I'm asking you, in the past, isn't it true that you have been arrested numerous times for being drunk in public? Look this jury in the eye, tell them it's true.
Objection argumentative.
Just a moment. Sustained. You do not have to answer that question. The question in its form is argumentative. So, Mr. Carlos, you can rephrase. Go ahead.
Isn't it? You have been drinking for the past 30 years. That's the truth, isn't it?
No.
So so it's still your testimony that you have been sober for 30 years?
I'm not saying I was sober every day for 30 years, but yes, I've done the program for the last, since I was 22, yes.
Okay. So before we broke, you told this jury that you hadn't drank in 30 years. You remember that, don't you? I made a transcript of that.
Objection misstates the evidence.
Sustained. You do not need to answer that question. You can rephrase.
You told them you were sober for 30 years. Remember that?
In all, yes, I have been sober for that long.
So correct me if I'm wrong, sober means not drinking, right?
Right.
And you in fact had been drinking during that period.
Objection vague as to when.
Overruled as rephrased. You can answer. Do you understand the question?
Have him ask me.
I'm sorry?
Have him ask me again.
Okay, can you rephrase the question?
During that 30-year period, you have in fact been drinking, right?
Yes.
Okay. We talked about on the 20th of January 2019, you were arrested for public intoxication. You recall that, right?
Yes, I recall that.
That was the cough syrup, right?
Yes.
December 31st, 2016, you again were arrested and cited for public intoxication. Is that true?
If it says it on paper, I guess I must have been.
I'm asking you.
No, I wasn't
You weren't
using.
drunk. Pardon?
I wasn't drinking.
You just were unjustly...
I was walking and he pulls over and he asks me questions and he tells me in. It happened.
Who's he? Police?
Yes.
And you were arrested and cited for public intoxication.
Yes.
But you weren't drunk that time either, right?
I don't remember. No, I wasn't.
Okay. In November 24th of 2016, you were again arrested and cited for public intoxication. You remember that?
No, I don't remember that.
Are you saying it didn't happen?
I just don't remember. I don't remember every day.
Is memory a problem for you?
216.
Is memory an issue for you?
Well, not with sex, it's not. No.
With sex, it's not.
No.
But with other things, it is a problem.
Objection
I just don't
argumentative.
remember that day.
Overruled. Just a moment. There's an objection. Is argumentative? Yes?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Overruled. You can answer the question. Do you remember the question?
What day? I don't know.
Okay, he asked if you have questions with your memory about other things. Is that a problem?
No, I don't have problems with memory.
All right, next question.
Okay. in September 3rd, 2016, you were then arrested again for public intoxication. Do you remember that?
September what?
September 3rd of 2016.
I don't remember, sorry.
Okay, are you saying it didn't happen, or you just have no memory of it?
I think it didn't happen.
Okay. The event never occurred?
No.
January 14th of 2014, yet one more time, you were arrested for public intoxication. Do you recall that?
No.
I mean, just search back in your memory. How many times can you tell me that you've been arrested for public intoxication?
Objection to relevance.
Sustained, sustained, you do not need to answer that question.
So you're telling this jury you only recall twice from my question. I mean, I've cited 5 times for you, and you only recall 2 incidents. Is that true?
Yes.
So the other 3 incidents that I referred to, you have absolutely no memory of,
I
right?
have no memory of it.
Is there a possibility that they occurred and you just blacked it out? You understand my question?
Yes, I understand your question. No, I didn't black it out, and I don't remember. Yeah, I guess it's a blackout if I can't remember.
All right. You wouldn't dispute evidence of those stops by police, would you? In other words, police officers come in and say that they did stop you for that? You wouldn't dispute it?
What, sue you? Is that what you're asking me?
Dispute.
Can you please rephrase the question?
You wouldn't.
Argue about it?
Right.
No, I never argue with the law enforcement.
Okay. So on this date, on St. Patrick's Day at 3:30, when you're out cruising around, which is things that you do, right? That's normal for you.
Right,
Cruising around means going down to downtown Encinitas and walking around, right?
yes,
Talking to some friends that you might know out there.
yes,
I mean, you've been there all your life, right?
right.
And so you know a lot of people.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, fair for me to say. I mean, you might know some people who run some of the shops there, correct?
No, I don't know them personally.
How about just people on the streets? I mean, you know some of the people, like friendly faces on the streets, right?
What, the homeless?
I mean, it could be the homeless, could be just regular people on the street. Do you know them?
No, I don't know a lot of people. I don't go up there and introduce myself.
Really, you don't
This
know?
place?
Really, you don't know anybody. So you're telling this jury that you know nobody from the streets in Encinitas.
Objection, misstates the evidence.
Sustained,
I don't
but
see
just a
people.
moment, just a moment, ask another question.
The question to you, Ms. Doe, is you've been a resident there all your life, correct? Correct me if I'm wrong,
Yes,
right? And you walk the streets. That's one of the things you do. You love walking the streets, like by your own admission, correct?
yes,
And you can get to know people on the streets, correct?
yes.
And so you're telling this jury that you don't know any of the, what you say, homeless or transient people in Encinitas?
Yes, I do know a few people.
Okay. These are people that are by the bus stop, right?
Yes,
To the same bus stop that you went to after this assault, right?
right,
Okay. You know people that are by the trains, depots, right?
yes.
And there's a community center there too. I'm sorry, do you need a break?
No,
Right. So there's a community center there, right, where the homeless people go to. You know where it's at, right?
which community center are you talking about? The senior citizens place?
There's a senior citizens and there's a community outreach center. Do you know where that is?
Yes, but I don't go over there.
But you know where it is.
Yes,
2nd Street.
yes.
You know people that go there too, don't you?
Well, yes, if you know, yes, I know a few people.
So that we're clear, you've been lifelong residents, you go on daily walks, you go on your cruising around thing, and you know people. That's fair for you to say, right?
Yes, I know people.
Okay, so on this particular day, St. Patrick's Day, it is your testimony from this jury that you had nothing to drink prior to 3:30, right?
Yeah, right.
So you go out and you decide that you're gonna go cruising around, yes?
Yes,
And you decide you're gonna walk down to El Camino, was it?
to 101
To 101, Coast Highway,
Coast Highway.
right? That's by the ocean.
Vulcan, yeah.
By the ocean, okay. So, how far is it from your house to Santa Fe?
About 5 minutes.
5 minutes, okay?
5-minute walk. Do you
Right.
walk?
Yeah, you're walking, right?
Yeah,
So it's 5 minutes to get from your house to Santa Fe.
right.
Is that where you're coming from?
Yes.
And who was at your house before you left it?
My mom, my family.
Okay. So, and you told them you were gonna go out and just walk around.
Yes.
And you told this jury that you were going to go shopping, but yes?
Is that a yes?
Yes.
All right, next question.
And do you recall speaking to the police when this originally happened? You recall telling them that you were just going out, you didn't say anything about shopping, you were just gonna go out cruising around. You remember that?
I remember going out shopping because that's what I do. But the cruising around, I don't remember saying it.
Don't remember saying it?
Because that was the first day, that was right after it happened.
Right after what happened?
The incident happened.
Okay, you mean when you spoke to the police?
Right.
Well, the first day was actually 4 days after, right? You didn't report it.
I think it was a Wednesday or something. I don't remember. I know it was closed on Monday, so.
Right, but you didn't report this offense till 4 days after. So it
Right.
wasn't the next day,
Right.
right? So my question to you is, did you tell the police that you were in fact just going cruising around and not going shopping?
I don't remember. Yeah, I guess I said I was just out and about.
And if you go shopping, but by the way, this day, did you have any money with you?
Of course I had money.
How much money did you have?
I don't know.
$100?
I don't know.
$10?
Objection, asked and answered, calls for speculation, lacks foundation.
Sustained. You do not need to answer that last question.
This
Next
is-
question.
And this is going down to the thrift stores, it's shopping for you, right? That is?
Yes.
Okay, so anyways, you walk 5 minutes to Santa Fe, and then you've got the 101, the Coast Highway is.
Right.
How far away?
About 2 miles.
About 2 miles from Santa Fe,
Right.
right? And you start walking,
Right.
and you walk all of, what, 1 block?
Yeah, about a block
Okay. And then
to
you
Lake Drive.
decide you're gonna turn around and you're gonna hitchhike.
Right.
Right, so the question to me is hitchhiking something you do normally?
No.
Is it, how frequently do you hitchhike?
Well, I don't hitchhike lately because
I'm asking about lately, I'm asking you prior to this event, how often did you hitchhike?
I probably hitchhiked about 5 times in my life.
5 times in your life.
Yeah, I get tired and I don't want to walk, so I turned around and I put my phone out.
Prior to this day that you were allegedly assaulted, when was the last time you hitchhiked?
The only time I remember of hitchhiking before this happened was when I was 12 years old and it was raining and I got in an argument with my mom and I laughed crying and some Mexican man was going to give me a ride home. So, and he assaulted me. That's the last time I remember.
So basically, 12 years old, you're the victim of sexual assault from a Mexican man, and then, what, 48 years later, give or take, you decide to hitchhike again. Is
Yes.
that true?
Uh-huh.
Okay. Just walking along and you just said, you know what, I'm not going to do it, I'm just going to turn and start hitchhiking. Right?
Right.
And you've never, once again, you understand you're under oath, right?
Yes, I understand.
Objection,
I'm
asked and
under-
answered, and argumentative in the repeated question.
Sustained. The answer will be stricken.
Is it your testimony that you have not accepted a ride from another individual while hitchhiking over the past 5 years?
No,
Never.
no.
Okay. So this day, you just decided to do it, okay, right?
Yes.
And then all of a sudden, you just flip around, you got your white leather pants on, and you put your thumb out, and lo and behold, a bright, shiny, new black car comes in, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is that
Yes.
Let's show you a picture. It's already been. Maybe you can see better behind you. You can go ahead. Publish it. I'll show you what's been marked previously as Courts Exhibit 11. Take a look. You recognize that?
Yep.
How do you recognize it?
I don't know. Does that thing go all the way back?
The thing being.
Does it have like it was a Jeep, I just don't, it looks like it's like a truck. Is it like the truck that I'm looking at?
Let me make this easier. Can I get Courts Exhibit 8, please? Oh, wait, that's not it. I'm sorry, the wrong one.
Looking for 12.
12, that's right, the front.
Let's put up court exhibit number 12.
You see that? Is that it?
I don't know, I wrote down his license plate and I couldn't find it, so I don't remember if it had it had a tire, but I just remember the license plate being over here. That's all I remember.
Over where?
Over on the right-hand side.
Okay, the right-hand side of the back of the car.
Yeah, that tire wasn't there, there was no tire.
All right, next question.
All right, can I get Courts Exhibit 71? I'm going to ask you to take a look at this and see if you recognize this. 71? Okay, take a look at that. Is anything about that vehicle familiar to you?
I just don't remember looking at it from the front. I looked at it through the side. I wasn't, I didn't go into the front in front of him so he could run me down. I was on the side. I got in,
Can I get
looked at it, and then I was in the back of it. I wasn't looking at the front, so I don't know what the front rear.
Let me try this. Can we get 72? You recognize that photo?
It was a Jeep.
Okay, it was a Jeep because you actually read Jeep on it. Is that your memory of it?
I just remember it was a nice Jeep, and there was no back seats. All he had was clothes in the back of it.
So let's
There
talk
was
about
only
it.
2 seats, and he had nothing like,
Okay, let's talk about it for a second. The one thing you do remember, it was a nice car, right?
it was a nice Jeep.
Clearly, it was an expensive vehicle. I mean, it wasn't.
It was black too. I can't believe I could ever get in a black car anyways.
Okay. And you recall the words you said you saw from the side, and if you look at People 70, the government's Court 72, it has a picture of. It says Hummer across it, H2.
I see that.
Do you think you would have read that if you saw it?
Well, yeah, I would have remembered that, but I don't recall it. I don't remember. I was too scared, I guess.
Well, not when you got into the vehicle, right? You got in the vehicle, you saw the vehicle, you didn't know anything about it, right?
Yeah.
And
Yes.
what you remember is it was 2 seats, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes?
Yes.
And it was black. Yes?
Yes.
It was nice, correct?
Right.
And there was nothing in the back. In other words, was it like the seats were removed in the back, or it didn't have any back seats at all?
It didn't have any back seats at all.
So it was like a 2-seater?
He just didn't have any, he just had clothes all over, it was full of clothes. It was like,
But lying on the ground.
right, I was afraid to look back because I was afraid, I don't know, I thought somebody was gonna be in the back there jumping out at me.
Did you look at that before you got in the vehicle?
No, I just looked at him.
Okay. You told the police also that it was a 2-door, not a 4-door, right?
I think so, I don't remember, yeah, I guess, yeah, 2-door.
I mean, that's what you told the police. You recall that?
Yes, I thought, yeah, it was a
And
2-door.
You would agree with me that that's a 4-door that's in front of you,
Right,
Are we referring to exhibit number 72?
correct?
a
That's
2-door.
That's a 4-door. then
Yes, I
72.
see that.
And it also has a little stepping thing there, like a running board. You see it?
Right.
So in order to get into the car, you can step in and get out. Do you remember doing that?
No.
So you just sort of, from your memory, you don't recall having to manipulate your body to get into a vehicle, right?
Well, I don't remember.
Okay. So just in your memory, is this the vehicle that picked you up?
Yes.
Okay. So not the Jeep.
I think, yeah, I'm almost positive it was a truck
Okay.
like that.
So now you're positive that this is the vehicle, right?
Right.
So in other words, before, you were fairly positive it was a Jeep because you read J-E-E-P. Do you remember that? You told the police that.
Yes.
And you were positive that it was a 2-door. Do you remember that? Because you told that to the police.
Right.
And you were also positive that there were no back seats because you told that to the police also. You remember that?
Yes, then it must have been a Jeep. You're right. If I said that, it must have been a Jeep.
So then this isn't the vehicle. Because this is
Now,
not a
that's a
Jeep.
Hummer. It was nice, but it that's a 4-wheel. It was a Jeep, you know, you know, it's been a while.
So in your well, you tested, that's the,
I know, I was thinking that, but it's not that car, but it was
like
a
when you,
Jeep.
sorry.
Wait till he finishes the question before you give your answer.
Alright.
All right, let's have the next question. Go ahead.
When you say it's been a while, I mean, you identified the Jeep 4 days after the event, right? So
Right,
that was like fresh in your mind.
right,
So you were closer to the actual, what you remember about the incident, right? Because only 4 days passed,
right.
right? So you told them it was a Jeep because you read Jeep, right?
A white or black Jeep.
Right, black Jeep. It was a nice car, and it had 2 doors and no back seat. That's what you told them.
Right,
And that is not what's depicted in Government's Exhibit 70 and the Court's Exhibit 72,
right.
right? But as you sit here now, even though you were positive back then it was a Jeep, are you telling us that that's the car that picked you up?
Objection asked and answered 3 times.
Sustained. You do not need to answer.
You get into the vehicle, you've only accepted rides, you said maybe 5 times in your entire life from strange people?
Objection asked and answered.
Overruled as to the way that question is phrased. You can answer.
Yes,
Okay. So you didn't have any reason to worry that somebody had come to pick you up?
worry about what?
Last time you hitchhiked, you were assaulted, right? You were-
Well, that was like 30 years ago. I was in my own city down the street. He is my neighbor.
Okay. And you determined that how?
Just because, I don't know. I just know he was the neighbor up the street.
How do you know he was, wait, are you saying that you knew prior?
I
to
didn't
picking you
know
up?
prior.
Just a moment, just a minute. We have to wait till he finishes the question in its entirety before you give an answer. So, Mr. Carlos, let's have the full question.
Are you saying that you knew this person was your neighbor before you got into the car?
No, I did not know.
And then why did you say that?
I don't know.
Well, did you know he's your neighbor? I'm asking.
Well, I know now.
You know now, right? You know he's a football player, right? You know that.
Yes, I heard. He's not a football player now, but he's in.
You know he's a football player, you know he's a neighbor, you know he's got a nice brand new Jeep and he's got lots of money. You know that, right? True or false? Easy.
Well, just a minute, I know, the court's going to propose its own objection. That's a compound question, so let's break it down.
You knew that he's a football player. You know that, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Wait, just a minute, are you saying she knows now?
You knew it back then. You knew
Okay,
it.
so we need to be specific as to time, so go ahead and rephrase.
Break it down. Back then, you just said that you knew he was your neighbor. That was your testimony.
Objection misstates the evidence. As to time.
Overruled, he's inquiring, so I will allow, do you understand the question, ma'am?
Yes.
Okay, you can answer. What's the answer?
No, I did not know he was our neighbor until the court, until he was arrested.
Okay. But on my questioning, I asked you, why would you get into the car? You said, because he was my neighbor. Do you remember that?
Objection misstates the evidence.
Sustained, you do not need to answer. Next question.
Did you get into the car because you felt comfortable that he was a neighbor?
No, I got in the car because he was the only one that stopped. And I wasn't going far. I felt comfortable in my neighborhood. And that's why I got in the car.
That's right, you're only going a couple blocks, right?
Right.
And how far do you have to hitchhike to? It's like just 2 blocks.
Yeah, about 2 miles.
2 miles?
About a mile and a half, maybe.
And it's your testimony now, since that time, you know that Mr. Winslow was a former pro football player, right?
Yes.
You know that he drives a very nice vehicle, right?
Yes.
You also have done, who told you that he lives in your neighborhood?
I don't know, I don't remember.
It wasn't the prosecutor. The prosecutor, Mr. Owens, didn't tell you that he lives in your neighborhood, right? Right?
Right.
There wasn't anybody.
Nobody told me. I don't know where
You just said somebody told
somebody, I don't know. I might have went to a meeting or something and somebody must have said something or something.
Somebody told you, like all the people that you're talking to, right?
Right, but I didn't talk about the case because
Why
I want
would-
nobody to know.
And why would it come up?
I don't know.
If you're not talking about the case, Ms. Doe, why would it why would it come up? I'll move on. Since you have to agree with me that you have been talking to people about this particular case. True?
Not true.
Okay. So you don't know where it came up that somebody, by a meeting, I think you're saying an AA meeting, 12-step meeting, right?
Maybe, yes.
Well, is it a Narcotics Anonymous meeting?
No.
Now, what type of meeting, what type of maybe meeting
I'm
is
not on
this?
trial here.
What type of maybe meeting is this?
Might have just been at the park or something.
Or at the bus stop?
Or at the bus
Or
stop.
at the train station?
Yeah,
Okay. Just with all the people you talk to, right?
right, saying hello,
People on the streets.
right.
And it's fair for me to say that people on the streets of Encinitas are talking about the case. True?
True.
And these are the people who are transients and some people who are just people who live there, right? It's fair for me to say?
Right,
And those are the people that are talking to you.
right, yes.
And those are the people that are telling you that this individual, Mr. Winslow, has money.
Objection Vegas to time.
Overruled, you can answer.
True or false?
Telling me that I don't care if he has a pen, I don't.
The question is, that have they told
Did
you?
he tell me they had money? No,
Nobody.
nobody.
So, you get into the car. And it's your testimony that the individual then says, I'll drive you, and it's only like, what is it, like a block to the freeway? Yes?
Yes,
Okay. And during that time it took to do the pleasantries of, you're from Oceanside, that's what you said, right?
right. That's what he said.
Right? And you
I
said,
didn't say it.
okay, wait for me to finish.
Okay.
He said you're from Oceanside. He said he's from Oceanside. You said, hey, I'm from the area too. You're from Oceanside also?
No, I said I was from here.
Okay. But those are pleasantries.
Fresenius, yeah.
Those are pleasantries, right?
Right,
And you said, hey, what are you doing for St. Patty's Day? Remember that?
right.
Okay. Going out, drinking, things like that. Those questions like that.
No, I don't remember having a conversation about that. I
Yes.
said, oh, did somebody pinch you? Because it's green day, do you have your green on? That's what I said.
Okay. And you said that to the individual in the car.
Right.
And you didn't ask him, hey, where are you going for St. Patrick's Day? Things like that.
No,
And so it's your testimony that in that one, so you made this sort of cursory conversation, the car is moving, so in that period of time, within like a flash like that, this person says, I'm gonna drive you over here, I'm gonna fuck you, I'm gonna kill you. Yes?
exactly, yes,
That's exactly what happened.
right,
So this would have taken probably less than, what did I say, 20 seconds?
right,
Okay. And you're like, I don't, you don't even know what to do, right?
right,
Now, you know the area really well.
yes,
You've been to that store before. I mean, that's that shopping center.
yes,
You know the ins, you know the outs. You know how to get in, right? You
right,
know how to get out.
right,
And you have been into, there's a 24-hour fitness there, correct?
yes,
There's a kind of a laundromat, dry cleaner.
dry cleaner, yes.
There's a sushi restaurant. Yes.
It's probably new, yes.
And a big
Pizza, there's a pizza place there.
pizza, right? And a big farm.
And a bank, and a
Okay.
Subway, and a Scripps,
Tons of stuff.
right.
Okay. Permission to approach, Your Honor.
Go ahead.
I'll show you marked here. Not that you've ever been in an airplane before, but you take a look at that. Do you recognize that?
Has this been marked?
It has, Your Honor. I just
Is it 114? What is
do
it?
not have my glasses on.
Oh, can I take a look?
I can't see that.
Ma'am, can I see that? Thank you. It is 114.
That's just a duplicate on the back. Same photo.
Is this the same photo? Okay. All right, so the witness has exhibit 114. Okay, go ahead, next question.
Does it look familiar to you?
Mm-hmm, yes.
Yes?
This is where the pizza
Wait, what are you
place-
saying?
okay.
Why does it look familiar to you?
Looks like a map,
What?
somebody's parking lot.
Who's parking lot? Why does it look familiar to you? Is this the parking lot that you were driven into?
Oh. Let's see. Is that the freeway on there? Yeah, this is it.
Okay. So it's on the screen now, right? So you would, I'm gonna leave this with you. You would agree that that's an accurate photo of, aerial photo of the area that you've been discussing here, right?
Yes,
So,
Can you see that okay? Do you need glasses or anything?
I don't have them, I forgot.
Okay, and there's a, if you look to your right, behind you, there's a closer map. Does that help you at all?
Okay, yes.
Is that better?
Uh-huh.
Okay, go ahead, Mr. Carlos.
okay, so I'm gonna, I don't have any handy pens here.
I have a pen if you need one.
I don't know if I can write on this thing, can I?
You can't write on the TV screen.
It's just Mr. Owens.
But you can write on the actual hard exhibit if you would like,
Yeah.
and then just have her show as well on the screen.
Right.
However you want to proceed.
Do we, let me just walk you through this, okay? This is Santa Fe Avenue, correct?
Right,
And this is, across the top is the 5.
right.
Well, just across the top, I think you just indicated was Santa Fe Avenue.
This is horizontal, right? Is horizontal.
Yes. The one that goes horizontal across the top
Santa
is
Fe Drive.
correct. Okay.
Even says Santa Fe Drive on it, right? See that?
Right, yes.
Okay. So this kind of diagonal over here at the corner, top right corner, would be the Interstate 5.
Right.
Below it, kind of running parallel to it at an angle, is that the on-ramp to the 5?
Yes.
Okay. This parking lot with all the cars in it, is that the parking lot to the Bonds? It's a long time how this works. Anyways. There it is.
Top one.
Oh, there it is. Can't really see it that well.
You might just want to point down with
Yeah,
your
yeah, yeah.
finger.
I'll use this as a pointer.
And then make sure you're not blocking the view of the jurors, especially one close to you. Go ahead.
This is the parking lot. There's the Bonds. There's the dry cleaner, 24-hour fitness, and there's a sushi restaurant there, right?
Right.
Okay. And that parking lot, it fairly depicts sort of like what the parking lot looks like, right?
When it's full, yes.
Yeah, a lot of cars. I mean, because this is a grocery store. People
Right.
go to the grocery store.
On a Saturday.
Do you agree?
Yes.
When you pulled into the parking lot there, was there anything strange about the parking lot?
No.
Normal, regular business?
Regular.
Okay. Is this the bank up at the top here? Is that
Yes.
the bank you're talking about? It is.
There's a bank and then there's the pizza place.
Okay. So, the man says, I'm gonna kill you. I'm gonna fuck you. You're gone, right? Something to that
Right.
effect. Okay?
Right.
Oh, by the way, you said this guy said his name was Dominique.
Right.
You sure about that?
Yeah.
Okay, you never told anybody that his name was Dominique.
He said, no, well,
Okay, let me put this. 4 days later, when you interviewed with the police, you didn't tell them that this guy said his name was Dominique.
well, he didn't say his name was Winslow either.
Okay, but you didn't tell the police that he used the name Dominique,
Okay.
right? Yes?
Right.
Later on, when you testified at the preliminary hearing under oath, you didn't say that the man used the name Dominique. Isn't that true?
Right.
So this is the first time over a year that anybody's ever heard that this individual said his name was Dominique, right?
Right.
And even when you spoke with Mr. Owens and the investigators in preparation for the trial, you never said anything about a guy named Dominique. Isn't that true?
Right.
So now, over a year later, this guy who says his name is Dominique, he's driving you into this parking lot. Can you tell us how you came in?
Right where that red thing is right there, see it's 451?
Yes.
That's where the light is.
Okay.
The hospital is going to the right and then you go into the Rite Aid.
Right here?
Right, yeah, on the other side of that tree.
Right here?
Yeah, that's
I
right.
got a circle. Good. Is that depicted?
So you go up all the way to the front and then you go down
All the way to the front where?
this way.
Okay, do you want, ma'am, can we just have you stand and
Yeah.
point with your finger on the TV screen itself?
Okay, so when you get to the light, you're at the light right there. See where the cars and the red balloon is?
Yeah.
And then you're coming in. See, and you're coming in, and then right here is where the bonds,
Right here.
yeah.
So we're gonna put
That's the road.
We're gonna put a square right here. Can we do that for the bonds?
Yeah, the bonds is like right here.
Okay.
Okay, ma'am, I think he's asking the route that you took when he drove you into the parking lot.
That's the road.
Okay,
Yeah.
can we have her draw on the hard diagram
Yes.
number 114? So there's a
Draw
green
that.
pen there, and use that pen to draw the route that you took once you and this person entered into the parking lot.
So when you're already in,
From the street into the parking lot and where you ended up. Okay.
Sure. Since I am basically an applicant, somebody who's the tech person to draw.
Okay,
right?
can we put that up on the screen? All right, you've indicated with a green pen the route that was taken when you went into the parking lot, is that correct?
yes.
All right, and we can go ahead and publish that for the jury. Do you not have an Elmo over there?
I know, there's like, Elmos are old school apparently.
But what do you have now? Do you have a,
Straight and hook in computers.
oh, you put it in the computer?
Right.
All right, is it up there? Oh, there, okay.
So here's what we're doing. I want you to follow this green thing. So you've drawn right here.
Right,
You came down through the parking lot,
right.
straight across. This is the lane, right?
Yeah, there's an in and there's an out, so you come down this way and then you're going this way in front.
Okay.
And in front of all the stores, but you're not going towards the Rite Aid, you're going towards the Vons.
So this area right here is where the
Vons
Vons
is
is.
right.
This area right here is
Well, the Family Fitness Center
Family
and
Fitness.
the dry cleaners.
Dry cleaners.
And whatever.
and
else
this is the
there.
sushi restaurant, right?
Right,
Okay.
okay.
Where did you park?
Right there, okay. It's easier for me.
Can you point to the TV screen?
Okay.
This you can see better here. Can you see that right
Right there.
here? Okay, so.
All right, she's indicating the lower right-hand corner of the photograph, and now,
There was 2 cars and then we were right here.
Okay.
all right, can you take this red pen and on court exhibit number 14, put an X with a circle around it indicating where you ended up, or where this car ended up parking on that court exhibit number 114.
An X in a circle?
Yeah, put an X with a circle around it where the car ended up parking. All right, and you just indicated also where the Vons was. I want to make sure the record's clear. Can you draw on there, or write on there, the word Vons where Vons is? You said there was a sushi restaurant. Can you write where that is on court exhibit number 114? Okay, we just have to have it clear for the record so if somebody reads the transcript to know exactly where you were pointing. Okay, I'll take the pen back and then you can ask your next question.
Sure. So this area that you indicated where you parked, where those 2 cars are right there, that's where you parked, right?
Exactly.
Okay, so these backs of these buildings right here, there are doors that go, that lead into those buildings, correct?
Yes.
Did you see whether they're open or not?
The dry cleaners was open.
So the dry cleaner door is open. And correct me if I'm wrong, this is about what, maybe 10 feet, 15 feet to the door,
Yeah, from here to the wall.
to that wall?
Yep.
Your Honor, does the court have an estimate?
Yes, okay, which wall? The one in the far back or the one that's
The
closest?
one to the far back.
Okay,
of that
give
picture.
me just a moment. That is going to be 50 feet.
Okay.
All right, and just to be clear, where is you said there was a dry cleaners, is that between the sushi restaurant and Vons?
Yeah.
Okay,
And then
next,
the building gets bigger. So, yeah.
okay, next question.
Okay, so you were inside the vehicle, right around this area right here, and then you said you walked to the fence. Can you tell us, can you use the pointer and tell me which way you walked?
Right here. There's a yard, it's a utility yard, it has lawn mowers and for the landscaper, this is a park next door,
Okay, where's the fence that you jumped over?
right here.
Up in the ivy
Uh-huh,
or
right
the
here.
ice plant?
Right here.
Okay, thank you.
All right, we're gonna have her circle on, ma'am, on exhibit number 114. You indicated the area where the fence was. Can you circle that with a red pen? Here's the pen.
Circle the fence.
Yes, the area where you climbed over the fence.
Oh, where we climbed over the fence.
Just circle it, but don't put an X in the circle. All right, the record will reflect the witnesses made, can I see that? The witnesses made a red oval on the lower right-hand corner of court exhibit number 114 indicating where they went over the fence. Okay, here, let me give this back to you. And you can hang on to the pen because we might have you make another marking on that. Next question, Mr. Carlos.
All right, this is definitely one that you're not supposed to. Let me show you what's marked as Court's Exhibit 11. Why don't you take a look at this, tell me if you recognize it. 111?
Is it 111 or 11?
111.
Okay.
Yes, I do. This is the back. Yeah. Well, yes, that's the back of the place.
Back to the place where you parked your car.
Right. He parked his car.
Is there any objection to publishing this at this point, Mr. Owens?
There is none, Your Honor.
Okay, we go ahead and put 111 up on the screen
Do the photos.
as the witness is looking at it. All right, go ahead, Mr. Carlos.
Well, you recognize that photo?
Yes.
Right. And this is the, there's a sushi restaurant here, right, in the corner?
Yes.
And the parking lot, the main parking lot's over here.
Right.
There's a couple cars that are parked here, right?
Right.
And then the back right here, where these cars are parked, those are the doors to the sushi restaurant and the cleaners and the 24-hour fitness, correct?
I think there's only 2 doors, but I'm not sure. I didn't see 3.
But they-
Yeah.
they-
Okay. Yes. Yes, there's 4.
They go into the business.
Right.
Right. This ivy here, is that the ivy that you're talking about?
Right.
There's a fence here. See my hand
Right.
across it?
Right. Right.
Is this the fence that you talked about jumping over?
That's the fence we jumped over.
Do you recall where you jumped over the fence?
More, it's not in the picture, but probably right after where you cut it off.
Let me show you.
Where he cut off to the right of the photograph as you look at it, or the
Yeah,
left?
the parking lot where we parked is over here.
Okay, indicating to the left of photograph 111.
Here, let me try this one. Let's take a look at this photo. Do you recognize that photo?
And for the record, this is
That looks
what?
like the front.
107.
107?
See, that looks like the front. That
So you-
doesn't, this, I'm saying over here where the utility truck, or there's a little utility places.
Okay, let's just publish it. So this is the front of the, this is the,
Oh, okay, yeah. But I don't see the 3 parking spots. So that's the front. You're looking in the front. We're in the back where
I understand that.
where
I understand
Just a
that.
moment, just a moment.
Okay.
Just wait.
you've been here.
Wait a minute. Okay, I'm letting the court reporter catch up because everybody's speaking at the same time. Let's have a question and then an answer without everybody speaking over each other. So go ahead, Mr. Carlos. Next question.
Sushi restaurant depicted here. That's the sushi restaurant we're talking about, right? And so behind there, see where that motorhome is parked?
Right?
That's part of the parking lot that you went into, right?
Exactly.
Okay, for the record, the sushi restaurant is to the right of the picture. Does it say the name of the restaurant on there?
It says Sushi Lounge.
Sushi Lounge. Okay, so just I want the record clear to where the sushi restaurant is on this photograph. Next question.
And the fence is depicted here.
Right.
And so we're still not in the area where you jumped over the fence?
Well, yeah, you could probably see if it's behind. Yeah. Either that or it's right where the truck is.
So
Yeah.
right in this area. So
Right, right.
can you draw a circle around the area that you think you're talking about?
Okay, ma'am, you're looking at Court Exhibit 114. We need to take a look at Court Exhibit number 107, I believe. No, that's not the right exhibit.
They're on hard copy, so no, we're okay. So
Okay.
basically, it's in the area that's closer to the camper right here, right?
Right.
Your Honor, I'm going to object to the way that the items are being identified and circled.
Okay.
The witness herself is not circling the locations that
Right,
counsel
let's do that. Let's take that exhibit that's in front of you, ma'am, to your left. To your left.
That one.
Oh.
Okay, that's the same photograph that's on the screen, correct? Yes? And then can you please circle the area that, what were you asking, Mr. Cross, where she
Jumped.
Pardon me?
Where she jumped over.
Where she jumped over the fence. Can you circle it on that exhibit, please? Which is 107. Actually, let me give you a better pen before you circle it. Here's a black Sharpie. And on court exhibit number 107, can you use that black Sharpie to circle the area where you went over the fence? No, 107, the one on your left. There you go. Are you able to do it?
I think it's, I can't tell, but it might be on the other side of that, so just as close as I
Okay,
can
well, just a
get.
minute, before you make
Close
the
as-
marking, do you know if it's depicted on that photograph, the area where you went over the fence?
If it's not, don't mark anything.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
All right, next question.
let me move you to Courts Exhibit 105, take a look at that, maybe that might be closer in line.
Okay, this is 105?
105.
All right, 105 is now on the screen.
Your Honor, may I approach?
Yes, go ahead.
You see the gate here? You see the gate? Was it near the gate?
And you said, that was a yes, correct? When you were asked if you see the, do you see the gate or not?
Yes,
or
I
no?
see the gate.
Okay, next question.
So you don't remember the gate?
I don't remember the gate.
Let me show you Courts Exhibit 104. Take a look at that. You recognize that?
Yes,
Okay, this is the fence, right?
right.
Okay, so there's, this fairly inaccurately depicts this, the way the fence looked.
Right,
So it doesn't have like a bar on the top.
right.
And so you previously had said you used this line here, is how high it was, right? And this line being this brown wood thing, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Your Honor,
Yes,
I'd hate to object, but it's magnified currently. I'd ask that it be left in its regular state, the way it's being displayed.
That's fine.
okay. All right, and for the record, that's the same dark brown wood paneling stripe on the courtroom wall that's about 5 to 5.5 feet tall. The stripe itself is about 4 or 5 inches thick, so it's hard to determine the exact height. So go ahead.
Okay, well, it's not the most sturdy of fences, it looks like. Right?
Looks brand new.
Okay. It's you were there, you felt it, so it's a sturdy fence.
Pretty sure, yes.
Alright, so here's what happens. You roll into the parking lot, this individual, Dominique, has told you that he's going to fuck you and kill you, right?
Yes,
And you're driving past a lot of cars in the parking lot, right?
yes,
Because it's a regular Saturday, there's people shopping, right?
yes,
People going to the 24-hour fitness,
yes,
people going to the dry cleaner, right?
yes,
And a sushi restaurant.
yes,
Not to mention the bank behind you, okay?
yes,
So you testify that there's one person in this entire parking lot that walks in front of the car, right?
yes,
And you start waving your arms over your head like, help me, help me, help me, something like that.
right,
But you can't say anything because you're afraid,
exactly.
right? You were afraid of the individual in the driver, let me finish. You're afraid of the individual in the driver's seat, doing something to you if you yell.
Yes,
But you weren't afraid of the individual in the driver's seat doing anything if you're waving your hands up like this, back and forth,
But
at this
he was-
person walking by. Right?
right.
Okay. But you didn't yell, you didn't say, hey, anything like that, right?
No.
You didn't
Well,
open
just a
the...
moment. Is that right or is it not right? Did you yell or say
I
anything?
didn't scream at all, nothing, nothing came out.
Okay, next
I was
question.
stunned after he
And
threatened me.
so you're driving through the parking lot, you didn't try to open the door and jump out?
No,
No. You didn't try to, punch the guy driving the vehicle? No?
no,
And we've already established you didn't yell at any of the many, many people who are walking around the parking lot. Is that correct?
Objection, misstates the evidence.
Sustained. You do not need to answer that question.
How many people were in the parking lot, if you recall?
2, I think. There was one far away and there was one right, there was one, there only one, I only saw 2 probably.
an entire
That were
Vaughn.
getting out of the grocery store, that came out of the grocery store.
Okay, so in the entire Vaughn's parking lot, Vaughn's grocery.
Right,
There was only 2 people that are walking out of the store or near the store.
yes,
Yes?
yes,
Okay. A shopping center with a restaurant, a 24-hour fitness, a dry cleaner, a bank, and a sushi restaurant, and there's only 2 people in its entire lot.
Objection asked and answered.
Sustained, you do not need to answer that question. Next question.
So, you pull in the stop, still says he's gonna kill you, he's gonna fuck you, he's gonna kill you. But we're gonna do it over there in the ice plant, right?
right,
So, he gets out of the vehicle and he opens the door for you to get out of the vehicle, right?
right,
And then you are from here to the back wall here. That's how far you are from freedom. You don't go to the door at all, right?
right,
You didn't run to the parking lot where there are gonna be people, right?
right,
You didn't run to the sushi restaurant, which is right there in front of you, right?
right.
You decided you're just gonna walk with this guy because you're afraid.
He scared me.
Okay. So yeah, he scared you so much that you're walking right behind him to the fence. True?
Yes,
So I want to get this image. The man, Dominique, told you he's going to kill you, opens the door for you, says we're going to go over here in the ice plant, and then you get out of the vehicle, and rather than running anywhere, you follow him to this fence, like 50, whatever it is, 25 feet to the fence, through the ice plant, through the dirt, to the fence, right?
right,
Okay, now you're at the fence,
right,
and you got the store behind you.
right,
Let's assume that, let's say this is the fence, the jury rail here, right?
yes,
And this is the freeway, the backside of the jury's at, right?
yes,
So everywhere behind me, there are people, and there are stores, and there are cars, right?
Objection misstates the evidence.
Just asking a
But
question.
Just a
Sorry.
moment. Overruled on those grounds, however, it is compound, so I will sustain it on those grounds. You can rephrase.
Everywhere on the other side of the fence, that's not facing the freeway, there's, like, people. Do you agree?
nobody in sight, no, there was nobody after we went out in the back of the parking lot.
Do you think that you had access, let me put it this way, you had access to open businesses, right?
Yes,
I mean, 24-hour fitness wasn't closed, because it was 24-hour fitness, right? Right?
yes,
And Vaughn's wasn't closed,
wasn't closed,
and the laundry wasn't closed,
no,
and the sushi restaurant wasn't closed.
no,
And so you had access to all of these businesses, and these back doors were open. You told the police that the back doors were open, correct?
yes.
But you didn't go there, correct?
I was terrified,
Yeah,
I
that's what I'm
thought
saying.
he was a terrorist.
You didn't, oh, he's a terrorist now.
Well,
Objection argumentative.
Sustained is the last, that wasn't a question, you can ask your next question.
Why did you think he was a terrorist?
just the way you all acted.
What about the way he acted made you think he was a terrorist?
Well, if somebody told you and to kill you and rape you, and I just thought he was a terrorist.
And you thought he had a gun,
I
right?
thought he had a weapon.
And that's because black people always have guns, right? That's something you've said before. Remember that?
Yes, I did say that.
You told police
Yeah.
it's usually the black guys that got guns, right?
Yes,
And you also told them that, because it's not the black guys, it's the Mexicans who'll beat you up. They'll just beat you up, they don't have guns. Remember that?
yes, I did say that.
Have you been beat up before by Mexicans, is that it? Is that a yes? Have you been beat up? Have you accepted
No.
a ride and been beat up?
No,
Okay, so these are just things that you think.
yes,
So in your mind, Dominique, who's threatened to kill you, and rape you, is a terrorist, has a gun because he's essentially black. Is what you're saying.
Objection misstates the evidence.
Sustained, and it's vague, you can rephrase.
You believed he had a gun because you saw him, I guess, touch his hip, is what you said? Remember that? On direct testimony, you said that you saw the black man touch his hip and you thought he had a gun.
I asked him if he had a weapon, and he goes, if you move, yes.
Oh, you asked him if he had a weapon. and he said if you moved, and he touched his hip.
Right.
Okay, so this is the guy who's wearing drawstring shorts
Yes.
with no pockets.
He had pockets though.
Okay, and he had pockets. And did you see the outline of the gun?
I didn't see anything.
Because it's interesting because you never told the police that this individual had said anything about a gun to you. Do you remember that?
I guess, yes. I
Okay,
guess
so
so.
with 4 days after this event, when you called the police, you didn't say anything about the individual having a gun. Isn't that true?
Objection. Withdrawn, Your Honor.
You can answer.
I didn't see a gun.
Okay.
No,
But,
I-
but the point, what I'm saying is you didn't tell the police anything about this individual claiming that they had a gun.
Okay, I didn't, then yes, I didn't.
You didn't say it. In fact, when you came in here at the preliminary examination, when you were sitting on a witness stand under oath, you said nothing about this individual telling you that he had a gun. Isn't that true?
That's true.
So this is the first time, now, a year later, you remember that this individual patted his hip and he claimed he had a gun.
Yes.
All right, so you then follow him because you think now that he has a gun, you follow him to the fence, and it's your testimony that then he jumps over the fence.
Yes.
All right, and you're on the other side of the fence. Right?
Right.
I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. We got terrorists jumping over the fence, which is, you know, higher than, well, you've already shown where it is. He's up and over that fence that's depicted in the exhibit right there.
Yes.
You're on the other side, correct?
Right.
You're on the side facing open doors, cars.
The
Yes?
freeway, people driving by.
No. Freeway is up on the other side. You are on the opposite side of the freeway.
Yeah, but where the bushes is, we're over here more.
And for the record, defense counsel and the witness are referring to Court Exhibit 104, which is on the screen. Go ahead.
We could see the cars, they could see us.
What I'm saying is,
Like
yeah,
right here.
that's the point. Look, give me,
Okay.
sorry. This behind is the freeway, right? This, on this side of the fence, right,
Yeah,
is the shopping center.
all right.
Terrorist, rapist is on the other side of the fence, correct? You are on this side of the fence, correct?
Yes.
The
Okay, I'm
fence,
just not sure we're clear. The person is on the freeway side of the fence and you are on the non-freeway side of the fence. Is that what you're saying? I just want to be clear because the questioning was a little confusing about this side and that side. There's one side of the fence that's on the freeway side and the other side that's on the side of the fence closest to the Vons, correct? Is that correct, ma'am?
Yes.
Okay, so with that said, you can ask your next question, just to clarify. Go ahead.
so you are on the side that's not the freeway side. That's correct.
What, that we jumped over the
No,
fence?
I'm just asking about you, not we, you. You haven't jumped
Me.
over the fence yet,
Okay,
correct?
right,
The other guys jumped over the fence,
right.
right? You're still on the other side of the fence.
Yes.
I'm just trying to get the image here. So, the man that you're afraid of is now separated from you by a fence that is at least over 5 feet.
Well, yeah, it was
Is that?
taller than I am, yes.
Okay, so, I just want to make sure I'm clear on this. So the man on the other side of the fence is separated from you with a fence that's taller than you.
Right.
And you have basically access to open doors, to open
Mhm.
establishments, right? Yes?
Yes.
And you said yourself you exercise, I mean, you could run, isn't that true?
Yes.
You could even walk faster than he can get back over the fence, isn't that fair for me to say?
Yes.
But instead, what you do is you jump over the fence on your own accord.
Yes.
I mean, he didn't say, jump over the fence or I'm gonna pull out my gun and I'm gonna shoot you. He didn't say that to you, did he?
No.
He didn't say, jump over the fence, I'm gonna pull my knife out and come and kill you, did he?
No, not when we were outside, no.
Right, you jumped over the fence on your own. You decided on your own that you were gonna jump over the fence. Isn't that true?
Yes.
Okay. And you testified during the preliminary hearing that he had already started to take his clothes off before you even jumped over the fence.
Right.
And then when you jumped over the fence, you started to take your own clothes off, right?
Yes.
I mean, he didn't tear your clothes off.
No.
He didn't throw you to the ground and tear your clothes off.
No,
He
he
didn't
just told me to undress.
He told you to undress, right? He didn't threaten you at that point, did he? Anybody threaten you at that point?
No.
No. So you jump over the fence, the 5-foot fence, over to the guy that's threatened to kill you, to threaten to rape you, to take your own clothes off. Am I missing something?
No, you're right.
All right. So you recall testifying in the preliminary hearing, in fact, the question was posed to you that you said during the prelim that he had his clothes off on the other side of the fence before you jumped over. Do you remember that?
Yes.
In fact, the question was, you know, even though when the question was asked to you by the lawyers, like getting the image, he's like buck naked, as in he has no clothes on. It's all the way down. You have clothes on, and you decide to jump over the fence. That's the way it was posed to you. Remember that?
Yes.
But that's what you did. Exactly what you did, isn't it?
Yes.
There was actually another part to this that was strange, because during the prelim, you also said that before you left the car, you asked the terrorist rapist guy if you could get your backpack. Remember that?
Yes.
Because in your backpack, you had all your stuff.
Yes.
And one of the things you're concerned about was your sunscreen, because you didn't want to, you said your sunscreen got stolen before,
Yes.
so you wanted to have your sunscreen with you.
Mm-hmm.
Yes?
Yes.
Okay, so, once again, just to clarify the picture here, you are on one side of the fence, you have your backpack with your belongings on it. I'm assuming, had to throw your backpack over the fence before you climbed over that fence, correct?
Yes.
You get back on the other side of the fence, he's got his clothes off, you start taking your clothes off, he says, you know what, this isn't gonna work. Probably because there's a bunch of ice plant there, right? It's not a very comfortable place, I take it? Yes?
Yes.
Okay, and you say, okay, we're gonna go jump over the fence. And so he goes over the fence first. Isn't that true?
Yes.
So once again, now you've still, another situation where you have your clothes, you have your belongings, the alleged rapist, terrorist is on another side of a 5-foot fence. You could run, right?
Right.
You could scream.
Yes.
You could run down the length of the fence. You can go up to the freeway on-ramp very easily, right?
I could have, yes.
Wave down a car,
No.
because there certainly were cars on the freeway, right?
Right.
There certainly were cars going up the on-ramp, correct?
Yes.
Right? But you didn't do any of that, did you?
No.
What you did instead was put on your clothes, or your pants, your white leather pants that you had, you put them back on, and then you picked up your backpack, you went to the fence, threw your backpack over the fence, right?
Right.
And then you put yourself up on the fence and you hop back over the fence, right?
Right.
And then you followed the rapist, terrorist, all the way back to the vehicle where you were going to be assaulted in, right?
Right.
Where this individual opened the door for you. Here you go, right?
Yeah. Yes.
He then sat in the passenger seat. I mean, driver's seat. You're in the passenger seat.
Yes.
You recall, you described the oral sex that you gave, right?
Right.
So the man had a huge penis,
Yes.
gigantic. Yes?
Gigantic.
Right? Just like you were just saying, wow, what am I going to do with this thing? That's your words. Yes?
Yes, that's what I
Okay.
said.
And you gave him oral sex.
Right.
And you remember telling the police, when you were interviewed, you said that there wasn't any force in that part. It was unforced.
Well, he threatened me, and I kept on begging, please let me go, let me go.
Were you begging him to let you go when you were on the other side of the fence? Did you say, hey, from this side of the fence?
Before we
you
got
said-
out of the car, yes, I
Okay.
begged him,
Before
but I
you got-
didn't know, not when we were by the fence, I don't know.
When
No,
he's on-
I did not beg him, I didn't say anything, I told you.
When he's on the other side of the fence with no clothes, did you beg him to let you go?
No, I didn't beg him.
When he jumped over the fence and started taking your clothes off?
I was
did you-
just terrified.
Okay, I understand. All right, so you didn't beg him to let you go. But inside the vehicle, once you voluntarily walked back to the vehicle, you begged him to let you go. Yes?
Objection argumentative is raised.
All right, withdrawn. When you walked back to the vehicle and he opened the door for you and you got in, right?
Right?
That's when he threatened you again.
Yes,
Okay, and that's when you gave him the oral sex.
right.
And that's, you don't recall telling any police officer that it was unforced.
No, he didn't like put my hand, I just said to get this done so I could leave.
So just
Please,
be
I
clear, are you
beg
talking-
you to-
Just a moment, are you talking about physical force? I think the witness might be confused about that. Are you talking about physical force?
Physical force.
All right, do you understand the question?
He just whipped his penis out and I went over like this.
And indicating she bent over to her left. Okay, next question.
And he didn't grab your head and make you do anything, did he?
Objection compound.
Sustained.
Did
You can
grab-
rephrase.
He didn't grab your head,
He didn't grab my head.
didn't force your head down onto his penis.
No, because he was holding his penis.
So you were the one that was actually applying any contact to the penis if he was holding his own penis. right?
Yes,
This went on for a couple of minutes,
yes,
and then that's when you climbed back, well, you're already in the passenger seat, right?
right.
And so he then climbs, or he goes out of the car and comes around, or he climbs over the seat.
He climbed over the seat.
Okay. Now, this individual, Dominique, he's a larger man, isn't he?
Yes,
I mean, he's 6'4", 6'5", something like that.
yes,
And so it's your testimony that this individual climbed over the seat into your passenger side compartment, right?
right,
And sat on top of you,
right,
right? And then was able to penetrate you that way.
right,
This is in the parking lot with, you said there's 2 cars that are parked next to you?
right.
The individual then penetrates you, takes a couple of minutes to do this, and then you say that you're bleeding, you start bleeding, or you feel some.
I said ow, 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 because as soon as he stuck it in, it hurt like hell. So I didn't say screaming, but I said, ow, that hurts, ow, that hurts, ow, that hurts, ow, that hurts, ow, that hurts.
So you were screaming.
Well, to a point, I raised my voice, I don't scream.
I mean, you just sounded like you were screaming, right?
Well, it was just, that's how I sounded. I just, ow, ow, I just like, what, you know?
So let me ask you this, so instead of screaming, help, 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 you're saying ow, 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 right? I mean, am I right?
Yes,
Okay, got it. So you are screaming in the vehicle. Correct?
yes,
You're not moderating your voice. I mean, you're trying to make some noise. You're saying, you're screaming, you're saying ow, 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 ow. Correct?
yes,
Okay. But not calling out to people for help. Not saying help, 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 I'm being raped. Right?
right,
I mean, you followed him back into the car. You did what you did orally, and now he's climbed over on top of you, and you're having sex, and you're saying, "Ow, it hurts." Correct?
right,
And then you say that it caused blood or gushing or something to that effect,
right.
and you said you weren't on your period.
No,
Now, you testified at the prelim, right? You remember that?
yes,
And the issue of you menstruating was a big deal, wasn't it?
Objection argumentative.
Sustained, you can rephrase.
You told
Actually, you know what, why don't we do this? It's time for our afternoon recess. So it seems like a good breaking point. So we're gonna take our afternoon recess. We'll be in recess for 15 minutes. We'll see you back here at 3:05. Please leave your notebooks on your chairs. Please remember the admonition, don't discuss the case with anybody. And we'll see you back here in 15 minutes at 3:05. We're in recess.